Okay, so I recently saw Weapons, and that shit was pure insanity and pure comedy. Hey, big spoilers ahead. You've been warned, nigga. They were not playing in this movie. This old ass nigga was no joke.
I'm not watching this! Look!
But I love how they start the movie off with all the confusion. The parents are having a meeting trying to figure out what happened. But in my head, I'm just thinking, why would they have the teacher there? They should have known off of pure optics this shit would send the parents into a frenzy. And of course, that's exactly what happened. Spearheaded by Archer. These motherfuckers ended up having to rush her outside and to her car because, understandably so, the parents want answers and weren't buying the fact that she didn't know anything. She up there sounding like a politician and shit. So of course when she tried to leave, Archer's like,
I'm not finished.
But of course, for her own safety, they keep all the parents away from her and help her escape. But here we begin to see a trend of her lacking survival skills. Because immediately after this, when she gets home, somebody bangs on her door loud as shit. And instead of calling the police, or even taking a moment to check who it is, she walks outside and stands there.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
This entire scene, I'm just thinking,
this nigga gonna die.
So yeah, her troubles are far from over, and we're gonna come back to her. But for now, we're gonna go to one of the funniest encounters in this entire damn movie. Officer Paul and the dope fiend. This guy is of course attempting to break into a house, and Paul catches him and tells him to stop. And of course, in true fiend fashion, he attempts to run. So Paul hawks him down, then jumps out on foot and catches him. And as he's getting ready to search, he asks him,
anything in your pocket's gonna stick me when I put my hands in there.
And this motherfucker says no. And immediately, we all know he's capping. Just look at him. You know he has some needles or something on him. And lo and behold, and this motherfucker just silently standing there like,
how'd that get in there?
Which is followed by the most realistic reaction to this situation. This shit legit had me in tears in the theater. But what made this even worse is this happened before he cracked Justine. Who knows what that dope fiend has, whether it be AIDS or something else. And this was hours before he cracked Justine. Damn! He could have fucked up her life without her even knowing it. And on top of that, after he got caught up after cracking, he just tells his wife Justine got him drunk. This man really blamed it on the alcohol, which leads his wife to go out, find her, and put hands on her without so much as a warning from him.
You're a victim.
Bro is a straight city boy. But anyway, after he slumps him, he realizes he just did that shit while his dash cam was rolling. So he freaks out and lets the guy go. And of course, he doesn't learn shit, because immediately after this, he goes and breaks into Alex's house. And here's where we begin to see even more insight into Alex's living situation. We see Alex's zombified parents just sitting there motionless in the same spot as when Justine peeked through a window at them. And he immediately gets startled upon seeing them. But after realizing they're unresponsive, he gets up to check on them like,
Good man.
But he sees they don't react, so he goes right back to robbing.
I'll never stop stealing. I'll never stop stealing.
And as he's robbing them, he peeks downstairs for more shit to steal, where he sees all the missing kids just standing there. Then they turn and look at him, which then triggers the zombie parents to get up and chase him out of the house, slamming the door behind him. Fast forward a little bit, now he sees a sign that says there's a $50,000 reward for any information on the missing kids. So he calls the police about the reward, and as he's going to the police station to try to give up the information, he's spotted by Paul, who's pissed.
What did I tell you? What did I fucking...
Then as he's running, he sees Gladys waving at him in the woods, but he does the smart thing and runs the opposite way. But then he undoes the smart thing by running into this flimsy ass tent. But as he sees a shadow approaching him, he lunges out and stabs it with several syringes. And who he stabs turns out to be Paul. And I know seeing this, he's immediately like,
What? Oh hell no! That's oh hell no!
Because this makes Paul even more pissed and pull a shotgun on him.
Wait!
Which leads him to spill the beans about the kid's location. So Paul drives there. Then he goes to check it out by walking in the dark ass house by himself.
That's a great idea.
Like, if this is the biggest case in the city, why not call for backup or at least inform the department what you've just found out and where you're going? I mean, if all these kids are in one place, you would assume that there are some dangerous individuals keeping them there. But of course, he walks in there and hours pass without him coming out. But when he finally does come out, you can tell he's changed just from the way he's walking. and drags the fiend inside the house. Now we get to Marcus, and we get to see how he did no due diligence. 2 o'clock hits and Gladys walks in place of Alex's parents. And just look at her.
Step back, I think I'm gonna vomit!
But as she arrives to this meeting, she pretty much tells him Alex's parents have to stay home and can't talk to him under any circumstances.
Police!
After hearing that, I would have immediately sent the police to her house because that sounds like she did something horrible to his parents. But if that wasn't dumb enough, later she shows up to his house and they actually let her in.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
And she just starts doing some weird witchcraft shit right in front of them. And they're just acting clueless. It takes her to literally cut Marcus's boyfriend's hair for him to finally do something. But by then, it's too late. She makes Marcus attack his man and kill him by headbutting his face into mush. Then she sends him to go get the teacher. I remember in the theater I was almost confused about this until I had to remember she did make Alice's mom go out and cut a piece of Justine's hair off while she fell asleep in the car. So it checks out. But not on Justine's part, because if you're spying on somebody who you think might be dangerous, why would you have the windows down and the doors unlocked? And most certainly, how would you fall asleep while casing the house? She's lucky they didn't have plans to kill her right there or she'd be a pack. But now we get to the crazy part when Marcus runs down on Justine. And even though Archer was there to confront her, he helps by pulling Marcus off of her, but catches a headbutt to the face. Then she tries to run in the store, but Marcus was right on her. He follows her right into the store, and her having zero survival instinct, she runs to a corner and just stands there, screaming.
Do something else!
But here comes Archer like,
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
and tackles him into the fridge window. And Justine doesn't even check if he's alright. She just runs.
What do you say fuck me for?
But once again, he gets right up and chases her to the car. He breaks her window and begins chasing her down the highway, but then gets sideswiped by another car, turning his head into hamburger helper. But then he goes to check on Justine and ends up telling her how he mapped out the direction his son was running. And that's when she mentions that's exactly where Alex lives. Then we see everything from his perspective. We get to see how his parents started off normal and everything seemed nice. And we also get to see how the dad wasn't even really on board with Gladys moving in with them out the gate, because neither of them really knew her like that.
Who is this nigga?
But then one day his parents don't pick him up from school, and when he comes home, they're just sitting at the table with a vacant look in their eyes. And she lets Alex know how serious this is by making them repeatedly stab themselves in the face with forks as proof, and tells him she'll make them hurt themselves or each other or even him if he doesn't do exactly what she says. But of course, this only works in the short term. So then she has him steal an item from each of his classmates and bring it to her. Then she uses this to whip up some kind of spell to make all the kids come to her, which is how they all ended up in the basement. So fast forward, Archer and Justine show up at Alex's house and they see a police car already out front. Then you see Zombie Paul come to the door and silently wave them in, and they actually go in.
What an idea.
Why didn't I think of that?
Then once they're in the house, Paul silently motions Justine over to him, and as soon as she steps on the salt, him and the Fiend attack, and Archer is immediately putting hands on the Fiend. This is one of the funnier parts of the movie too, because he keeps knocking him out and this man keeps waking up screaming at him just to get knocked out again. This was a complete mismatch. Meanwhile, Justine is fighting for her life against Paul, and this man Archer just threw the Fiend over the table twice as he continues to charge at him. Then he eventually tackles Archer through the basement door. Then we cut to Alex, who purposely triggers the salt trap to get his parents to chase him and get them away from Gladys's room so he can get all the materials he needs to recreate the spell. Then as we cut back to Justine, she's being choked out against the wall, and we see she's forced to use Paul's own gun to shoot him dead just to save her own life. He had no choice. But as we cut back to Archer in the basement searching for his son, he comes across a crouched Gladys in the corner who jumps on him and somehow transforms him in seconds.
How?
He must have solo ulted him as soon as he went down in that basement or something, but I guess plot. So he begins choking Justine under her control, and Gladys is just coaching him while he's doing this. But right on time, Alex completes the spell and sicks all the kids on her, and she felt it as soon as it happened because she just stands there and says, "Oh no." And now we get this amazing sequence of all the kids chasing her through the neighborhood and all that. Through people's houses, through people's backyards, everywhere. And this little girl right here, put her in some sports. So they eventually catch her, and let me just say, they do her the way Zeke made those Titans do Mike in Attack on Titan. Yeah, straight packed her up. Then the parents find all their kids since they were all just standing out in the open. Then we cut to Alex hugging his now brain dead parents. It was a bittersweet ending because yeah, they got the villain, but we know all the people she had under her spell had to suffer long after she was gone. Some of them started speaking again, but a lot of them didn't, like Alex's parents. But yeah, that's gonna be all for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you for 1,400 subscribers. This has been MarblePluto. Peace!
I just found the keys to a city, the beats